Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday. And I'm all screwed up on the day of the week and the date. And gosh, what the heck? It's crazy. So, I've been a little discombobulated. So I really didn't get a chance to pull everything together like I wanted to. So this one may take me just a few minutes. What I did do is I pulled some colors that I like. I want to recreate this layout. So this is the new Close My Heart book, and I'm Connie. I go live every Wednesday at 2, and I usually try to go live again on Friday mornings just with something a little smaller, although lately it's just been whatever I can come up with. And I want to put in a little plug for the Operation Smile charity. That is a Close to My Heart charity. And basically every year they come out with a stamp set that you can purchase, and the proceeds go to Operation Smile. And it doesn't take a lot of money to pay for surgery for these little kids that have cleft lips, cleft palates, and things like that. And so it's a lot of makers do like big fundraisers and stuff. But I just want to say, I love this set, and if you buy this set, your money is going to a good place. And the other thing about it too is when you pay online, at the very end, you can round up your order, and every cent helps. So if you're at, $33.20 and you round up, to $1 to the 34, 80 cents of that will go towards Operation Smile. So it's a little way to give, and it's a really cool charity. They've sent several makers on mission trips where they get to help with preparing people for the surgery and that kind of thing. And it's a really rewarding kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, I like this stitched effect too. Sally, how you doing? It's so cold here. It feels like snow today. When you walk outside and you breathe in the air and you think, oh, it could snow. It feels that way today. It's not really supposed to. I think we may get some flurries later, they said. But we're supposed to get big snow this weekend. We'll see. We'll see if it ends up being snow or rain. We're always on that line. Anyway, I love this layout. Isn't this layout cool? I really love it. My only issue with it is I think it's the yellow. I'm not sure. There's something about the color scheme, not my favorite for some reason. I like rainbow, and I want to do rainbow, but I don't like the pastel-y blue in it. I don't know. I just need to change up the colors. So what I did was I was going to do dye inks, right? But these are irresistables papers, and it just takes longer to put the ink onto the paper compared to Distress Oxides. And so I pulled both, and then I went back and forth, and I'm so slow about everything lately, and my lives have been so darn long that I decided maybe I should just do Distress Oxides, and I haven't shown those for a while. So I chose a rainbow, red, orange, yellow. This is candy apple, spiced marmalade, and mustard, and then twisted citron, peacock feathers, and seedless preserves. Now I have a more of a green, like a leafy green, but I think the brightness of this is gonna stand out more. And I have a blue, I have blues, which would look amazing, but I kind of like the turquoise color in some of these rainbow effects. So this is what I pulled. We will see how that works. And I'm just gonna stack those up and put those aside for a minute. And then I put a foam on all my little daubers. Now, you may think it's a little excessive to have this many little handles. You really only need one. And then these just peel off and they Velcro back on. This one's getting so worn out, I probably should just grab a new one, but whatever. Anyway, let me see if I have another one. Hold on a minute. I have a rounded one. That'll work. I'll just throw that one away. It's like the Velcro. I've used it so much that the Velcro has worn off. Anyway, I one time found these on a special, and I finally just broke down and bought a pack of them. And I think I bought 2 packages, and there were like 3 in a package or something, just to have them. You get such inky fingers fiddling around with those foam pieces. And so I just thought, I'll try it. And then I keep all the different colors of foam on a piece of Velcro on the side of one of my cabinets. So I want to show you the cardstock that I chose. And it, after the New Year's Eve virtual crop, a lot of you have these irresistible papers. They're very hard to see on camera, especially until you put ink on them. Oh, there you can see there's like a plaid, hearts, daisy style flowers, a leafy print, a stripe, and the last one is like confetti / sprinkles. And so you get them in a pack. It looks so unassuming. It looks like nothing. But when you put these together, they're so cool. So I have those ready. And I knew a lot of you would have them after the New Year's Eve crop because so many bought them. The other thing I was thinking is let me look for it. Hold on a sec. It is Z7011. You might look online because there's actually 2 packs of irresistible cardstock right now. One is still left over from last year. They must have a stash of it. And then there's the one from this year. And I like them both. I have them both. I like the one from this year and last year, but since I was recreating this one, I thought, well, I'll just use the one from this year. I'm kind of envious, Sally, of your snow, and you know that because I talk about it all the time. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our copying trick. I have just a scrap piece, strip of paper. I'm going to lay it down on the layout, and I need to cut this off at the edge. So what I'm doing is I'm making a ruler. I'm making a ruler for the layout. Now you can do that for any artwork in the catalog. You say, I wonder how big this is. You can create a ruler for it. And that's what I'm doing here, because this is a 12 by 12 page. So this ruler will be my 12 by 12. All right, so we're gonna fold it in half, right? And then we're gonna fold it in half again, or fold it to the center. Normally I just fold it in half, but this is such heavy cardstock. I don't even know what this scrap was from, but it's such heavy cardstock I can't fold 2 pieces at the same time for some reason. So there's one. So my husband came home last night from work and he's like, so what'd you do all day? And I was like, well, I sat and watched Bridgerton. I'm like, I know the new Bridgerton's getting ready to come out. I just don't know when. And so I thought I'd watch the other ones to get caught up. All right, so now we have this ruler, and see, my cardstock is so heavy. Jeez. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to write a line like this, just so you can see it, where my folds are. And if this is a 12-inch ruler, this is 6 inches. This is 3, and this is 9, right? So what I like to do is I just sort of visually split it into thirds, approximate thirds, between each piece, between each number, so that you have a 12-inch ruler. So I just made a ruler for this layout. This would be a 1 inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And of course the end would be 12. And so I created a ruler for this. The reason I did this is because I kind of need to know how big everything is. So we have a back piece that is, there's obviously only like an 1/8 inch-ish, maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch probably border. And I wanted it to be bold and in my face. And so I chose black. So the things I did ahead of time, I pulled some items. I pulled a few things. And last night I made these weird shapes that I'm gonna share with you for the second page. And then you need something to make circles. And so, gosh, you guys, I still have my old Colozzle. Anybody else have their old giant Colozzle? I just thought, this is my best way to make big round circles without a hassle. I have nesting mixing bowls, and they are perfect because they're just, maybe a 1/2 inch different in size. And I would just trace them and make my circles, and it was no big deal. Cricut works, but I love my Colozzle, and it's like 20 years old. And since you can't really find them easily anymore, this is like packing material from like one of the mailing places, and it works great for cutting. Remember that? Gosh. Anyway, so I thought black was a great background. Now, I want to show you the difference between black core and white core black. So I think you can see that there's two different colors of black there. One is a brownish black. Oh yeah, the circle cutter. I have my circle cutter too. That would work. That would work totally fine. I was just trying to like think of other ways if people don't have like a large size circle cutter. Good idea. So this is a brownish black, this is the black, and if you look on the side of it, you can see the edge of this one is white and the edge of this one is black. So this is like a printed black paper. Now, if this is the one you're using, it looks black, it looks great, it's a wonderful black. But if you want a dark, super dark, rich black, this solid core black is beautiful, and it's a little heavier. I mean, I have two pieces here, but I mean, it's heavy. I can't remember the weight of it. I'd have to look it up, but it's definitely heavier than our other cardstocks. So I went ahead and I pulled out my solid core black, and I cut a couple of pieces of white daisy down to 11 by 11. So this is how I want mine to look. Instead of the yellow, I'm going to make my edge black. And you'll notice, see, I have a lot showing. I have a 1/2 inch showing. And that's because I'm going to put another color in there. I haven't decided what color. But yeah, Sally, we have that solid core color is amazing. But it's a little more expensive, and so I think a lot of people like just pass it up. But it is a wowzer on some, like on this project, it probably doesn't really matter because so much of it is being covered up. And I could gut it, and that would probably be a good idea. Anyway, let's talk circles. I need a scratch paper here so I can write this down. Okay. So It looks like we have a 1/16 of an inch on each side. That won't matter. You'll notice that these are actually half circles, not whole, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patterns, and they have a space in between each one. And then I have no idea what size of picture that is. I assume it's like a 5x7. It looks like 5.5 circle. So it's probably, I would probably try to use a 5x7 photo. I have a few, but I don't know if I have any big ones right now, like within reach for me to use. The one I thought about using is like this one, which would make a 4x4 photo or circle. I think it's probably a little too small. So let's see how big our largest circle is 8 inches. The orange circle is 7. Oh, see, they probably just go down inch by inch. 6, and then 8, 7, and 6. So it really does go 8, 7, 6, 8, 7, 6. So that's not terrible. I can handle that. All right. That's how I figured out the size. The other thing I want to show you on here is they did some inking and stuff on here. So they edged. Yeah, the mock ruler, the problem with the photos is that they're all different sizes. So if I wanted to recreate this, you really do have to create a ruler just for that layout. So that's what that's for. I just think it works so well, and it takes like 2 seconds to do. So it helps you figure out if you're not good at eyeballing. Anyway, here we are with ink around the edges, clouds and the sun, and hearts and a butterfly. And the only thing on this whole page, there's only 2 things fussy cut, and that's that bird and that butterfly. I'm not sure if I'll use the bird and the butterfly. I might, but I definitely want to use the sun and the clouds. I love the little rainbow. I think the rainbow's adorable. I don't know whether I'll use it or not. But you can see this big smile. Your smile warms my heart. That is stamped direct onto the paper. So that's always kind of, what am I going to do about that? Now, you might remember I used that, hold on, in this layout, and I fussy cut it. It wasn't that bad to fussy cut. So if you are really uncomfortable stamping that direct, you could, cut it out and put it on there. What I do is I try it. If I just botch it up, I fussy cut it and glue it on top of where I screwed up. So there's my idea. Okay, let's get out our paper. So our biggest half circle is this one and the sprinkles. Let me just grab my Colossal. And we really only need a half circle, and they made their lines going vertical, which makes sense. The way they have, their orientation makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this now. I don't even know how big this Colossal is anymore. I think okay, so the second, I think I'm going to be best off just to use the widest cut. So I'm going to lay that on there and put some pressure on. What's everybody else doing today? Watching Bridgerton is probably not the best use of my time, but yesterday I wore myself out. I did all of my laundry, because you know you're not supposed to really do laundry on the 1st. There's some tradition with that. And I had gobs that had been piling up. There's my first one. I'm just gonna keep working. If you guys have questions, pop them up. Oh, the crown. Okay, so wow, Steve and I just finished the crown last night, and oh my gosh, it's just so, it had such a cool ending. I can't wait to talk to you about it. I won't ruin it for you, but I just thought one of the things at the end that they did, that you can tell they're ending the whole series, because you know, the end, they brought back all the queens. So this will be on the bottom. So we have the top and the bottom. I'm just gonna keep working. Anyway, it's just cool. It's just cool. You know, they have orange for this leaf one, and I feel like it needs to be green. So I'm gonna change this up just a little bit. I'm gonna swap out. Let me find my, I'm gonna swap the patterns out a little bit. I don't love the idea of the leaves being orange. So I'm gonna change it up. All right. And then let me see how much an inch is the 4th line. I was gonna eyeball it, and then I thought, oh, I better check. My blade's coming apart. Oh, yay. Thank you, Sally. I think you're going to love it. Look at how fun this is. I just love it. Okay, I need, wow, that did not turn out the way I thought it would. Hold on a minute. I think I need to use the next size. This will end up being my small one. Yeah, see, I'm going to screw this up. Sheesh. All right. But I like this paper. Whenever I can, I try really hard to make my, I try to make my scraps a full 12-inch. I try, like, if I could cut it off an end and have this square piece left, but I always try to leave enough for a big border on a scrapbook page if I ever want to use it that way. Because I tend to use my borders better that way. Ugh, I cut that off. That didn't work. Ugh. I honestly shouldn't even talk while I'm doing this. That's what I shouldn't do. So, try again, Con. It's a good thing you get a lot of this paper. That's all I can say. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's because I went the wrong line. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I really need is like a pencil stylus instead of a cutting stylus. And then I could like draw it where it's supposed to be so I don't screw it up. That is really pretty. Okay, I have that one. And I have that. All right, I have the daisy. I'm sorry you're having internet issues. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've always heard that that area of the country is hit and miss, but I don't. One of the things about being here at the U of I is that we have all those, you know, since they're known for like all the supercomputers and stuff, we don't tend to have a lot of internet issues. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I need the smallest size I'm going to double check my smallest size. How size was it? It was on the, I did it on the 5th line, which I think is still a little bit big. I think I could have done the 4th line or the 6th line. Let me try it. I'll do 1 line in. If this cardstock wasn't quite so thick, I could cut through multiple layers. Ah, University of Idaho. That's funny. Yeah, the U of I is basically our main means of jobs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it used to be that solo cup was pretty heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I decided to do 6. And now I think the hospital where I worked is the 2nd biggest employer. Kraft used to be pretty big here too. This is where like the Kraft macaroni and cheese is made. Okay, so, all right. I have my pieces. Boy, I gotta lay those out. Make sure I got it right, so I don't screw up, right? I'm gonna lay this aside. All right, let's decide what we're gonna do here. We want the top like red, orange, yellow, and then we'll have, oh, see, I messed up the green again. Green, blue. It's like I made the leaves the turquoise color. Oh, well, that's just how it's going to be. So the leaves are going to be wonky. I don't care. I don't really care, right? I don't really care. Okay, let me grab a piece of scratch paper. With this mat, you might be able to see through my paper a little bit. I take stuff that I print. You know when you print off of the computer and you like have all that stuff you throw away? I use it all for scratch paper like this. So I'm going to take my candy apple red. Let me see. I'm trying to look at comments. That's why I miss them. So if you have questions or anything, please, put them in capitals or something so I can see. All right, so I'm just using this, and what you don't want to do is that, because you'll end up with like a weird line. You want to blend from the outside onto your paper and do it in circles like this. And try to get it as dark as you want. Now, this ink just happens to be pretty juicy because I re-inked it so that I could use it to color the wood of my advent calendar. It was like it had like bare wood or unfinished wood. And so, sorry, I'm just gonna hold that like that. Trying not to get inky fingers. It's a lost cause, I'm sure. Now, if I leave it that way, it's okay, but I feel like it may need a little more. But before I do that, I want to wipe off the excess. This Irresistables is pretty cool. It has this is just a paper towel, plain paper towel. And what it is it's like when you do a heat embossing with clear powder, and that clear powder makes the ink not stick to it. And so I'm wiping that excess ink off of where like the clear powder is, kind of. So the Irresistables has that kind of shiny surface, and it resists the ink. And so I'm just pulling the excess off of there. So that way my white stripes really pop. And then I'm going to set that, I see ink. I'm going to set that one to dry. So there's one. I know, right? I haven't used my distress inks for a long time either, and I'm not sure why. I love them. Okay, my next color, Spiced Marmalade. Looking for my orange. And the one I'm going to use is this Daisy. You can kind of see it, the glossy of it. I feel very crowded over here for some reason. I just so much stuff on my desk, all in like a space this big. It's driving me crazy. So I'm just rearranging a little bit, constantly rearranging. Okay, none of my other ink pads have been re-inked, so they're not as wet or whatever, but still, you know, distress inks are made for blending, so they're perfect for this paper. You can use any of your inks. If you have Close to My Heart ink, dye ink, you have a different brand, Stampin' Up, whatever you've got, you can use it. Sorry, this way I can move it around and maybe save my fingers a little bit. I feel like I forget about my distress inks sometimes because they're not right in front of my face. I actually store them in a drawer kind of thing, and I'm just not good at drawers. I like all my stuff to be out and showing. I am wiping off of that white shiny surface all that excess orange, and it's sometimes the bolder colors like purples and reds will stain a little bit, but you should still get that pop of white showing through. Now you could do the same effect using heat embossing. You could do it yourself. So there's what I got so far. See, this is a lot bolder than theirs. I just wanted bolder colors. I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah, yellow. I got the new sponge out. Now my mustard seed has been screwed up ever since I bought it. I have no idea why the surface does this, but I noticed online that everybody complains that their mustard seed is goofy. Like it almost looks like it has a bumps and stuff on it. I just think it's the formulation of the ink, because it works fine and it is crazy thick compared to my other inks. And I thought I've replaced it because I thought it was defective. I went out and I bought more and it was the same way. So I'm like, okay, that's just the way it's meant to be. So I just keep using it and it seems like it works fine, but it is weird. It is odd compared to my other inks. It's the only color I have that is like that. Do you have mustard seed in your collection? If you do, tell me, is yours the same way? Jeez, it's kind of gross. Yes, I intentionally tried to make the hearts go the right way. And I thought if I screw it up, I guess I could always recut it, because it's not like I don't have enough paper. I didn't have a lighter yellow, and that was another thing. Is like, I could use a lighter yellow on that. It would probably look better, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep going. We're going to do green. This is Twisted Citron, which is probably a little bit red, orange, yellow, yeah, green. It's a little limey compared to, like, when I think of rainbow. But I was like, I like it. I like it a lot. And remember, some of this is covered up by your photo. There's that. Don't you think it's probably a dye thing, like that weird, something they use to make yellow? Sometimes reds are a little weird like that too. Like I do a lot of cookie baking and stuff, and the red food coloring is always really wonky compared to all the others. Like, it's very different to use than the other colors. All right. Now we're into green. I'm wiping off that extra. You can really see the difference after I wipe. Like, I'll just go down the middle and you can kind of see with and without. It really does pop. It's so cool. And I love that you can make any color you want. Well, as long as you have the ink, I guess. I don't know if you can see my entire table is shaking as I do that. I'm just putting a lot of oomph into it, I guess. Peacock feathers, I like, when I see rainbow stuff, I really like either a truer light blue like this or a turquoisey color. And I seem to be drawn to the turquoise colors. And I have a feeling this is the color I'm going to end up using around my border too. I don't know. But here I am making I made such a big deal about I want the leaves to be green, and here I am making them blue. And remember, you can always use a lighter touch than I'm doing and not make it quite so dark. I mean, it could be really faded, like you can make it lighter. I like bold, so I'm going for it. Only one more. Now, while I'm finishing this, I want to talk to you about page 2. You know what? It really doesn't, I have not let it sit too long, Margie, but even if you do, it does seem to wipe off, and it dries onto your paper, but it takes forever for it to dry on that clear finish. I suppose eventually, if you use the right, like dye ink would come off, I think, no matter what. But okay, last one is purple. I don't have great purples. That was the other thing about this purple. This is a pinky purple, and then I had like a super dark, like rich, super dark purple, and I did not like how that, I think it was like Villainous Potion or something like that. It didn't look as good, so I decided to go, since I went with the lime and the turquoise color, I thought, this is one of those colors that'll look good. I feel like I've been doing a lot of messy projects lately. You know, I'm going to finish the left side, but the right side, what I did, I was trying to think of a good idea for the right side, like a companion layout to this, because I don't ever really do like one-page layouts. Not ever, but not often. And I thought I really kind of need a second page to this. And what I want to do, and whether I'll be able to do it or not, I don't know. But what I want to do is I want to do, like, do you remember that design in like the 70s when rainbow was super popular? And let me just get a pencil and I'll show you kind of what's in my head right now is something like this. Wow, that is one bold, crazy looking scratch paper. That's going in the trash. Like what I was thinking was like, it will go like this, and then like this, and you would have like all 6 colors going across like that, and then your photos would be here, kind of like at the bottom of the rainbow, and then like, you know, this is one color, and then there's white in between. This is why I have to put this on like something electronic instead of just give you my digital drawings. But this is kind of what I had in mind. And so what I did was I kind of measured out a 12-inch, like a 11 by 11 kind of piece of cardstock, right? And I was trying to figure out like how many could I fit all 6 on there, and not the way I want it to. So I would do 5 colors, maybe 4. These are like 1.25 inches, I think. And then photos, boom, boom, boom at the bottom, or a couple of photos at the bottom. And this would, I just think it would look cool. Now, I cut this out of the Irresistables that coordinates with the left page. We'll see. We'll see if I can do that or not. All right, so I'm putting my black backgrounds aside. And we know this is inked on the edges. So let's just lay this out just so we can see what it looks like. So we have this. Wow, that's bold. And then remember there was a gap between the two. And I think it went this way, like that. So I think I made my second one just a little bit smaller than, or, you know, I made this one a little bit smaller than what they did in their layout, but it looks really cool. It still looks great. Ta-da. I love it, right? And then we have enough room. I could even cut the larger one down 1 notch and I'll have a little more room for my title. I might do that. I feel like these are just a smidgen large. Okay, sorry. This is my, what happens when I don't plan everything. Where did I put that though? There it is. I have like tables and things all around me, and I'm using chairs to like put piles on, so every time I look around I have to figure out where I put everything. Those, you know, that tray system, look at that. You could make rainbows. Wouldn't that be cool? Like regular rainbows. That would be really neat. Let me see if that size works a little better. Oh yeah, that works a little better because it's more in line with this shape and this shape. Like there's more evenness here. Yeah, I like that. This colozzle, I don't even know how people do without them. You know, I started seeing them around here. Like, I like to go to crafty garage sales, as you know, because I look for stuff like this all the time. And I am shocked at how many people get rid of their basic shape colozzles. And I know you can use a circle cutter. I know there are newer things on the market that you can use. Wouldn't that be cool to make a rainbow on your page just like those? Anyway, put those aside. But the other thing I see a lot of that really surprises me is like circle punches. Like people get rid of their circle punches. I cannot live without mine. Can't do it. So I don't know why people just get rid of them. And it's not like they're not punching, because they always have like a place for you to use them before you buy them. Make sure they're not dull. All right. That is cool. That is really, really cool. Now, what color am I going to use on the edge between the black? Because I want it to be... Boy, maybe the yellow would look cool. That limeade, or let me just grab a couple colors and then you can help me choose. I said I didn't love the yellow. That's the wrong yellow. I could do orange. I have avocado green, which is a retired color. So if I just have it show on the edge, I don't know about green. I think that turquoise color is going to be the winner. I have Capri blue and I have Lagoon green, and don't know. What do you think? Orange might be it too. Yeah, I could do orange. Let's see. There's that one. Am I driving you all crazy running back and forth to my paper stash? Now there's a light side and a dark side, but I think it needs the punch of the dark. Is that too Halloween-y? It is a little with the black on it. Unless I do both. I don't know about the orange. The orange with the black is a problem. Otherwise, it'd be fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go with that for now. So now I'm gonna edge the white page with a little color. Now they used Glacier Blue, and I'm sure they were trying to make it look, you know, kind of like sky. But since I went with different colors and stuff, I'm just gonna edge using, I think I might edge using the green, this limey green. I should go ahead and like glue those circles together, because every time I try to hold them onto the layout or something, they all fall apart. One of the things that they did that made theirs a little bit unique was, you can tell in their picture that they used direct ink pad to the page. Like they actually used an ink pad and swiped off of it. And that's how they got the swoopy look. You know what I mean? So you have to use a little bit of, you have to be a little bit different when you're using distress ink versus that dye ink. Maybe I'll use the edge of my, yeah, that'll work. Just to give it some difference. All right, I like that. Okay, now the clouds. Let's talk about the clouds. I've made clouds a million ways. There are clouds in the stamp set that they've used to stamp direct onto the paper. So we'll be using the clouds. Look at me, an hour in, and I haven't even put my page together. Can you believe that? It's taking me forever. It's my indecision. And then I definitely want to use the sun. So I'll pull that. And this giant smile, I want to use it. It's going to be interesting. See if it'll fit on this black. Yep. And what else? There's little hearts and things. Little hearts. We'll put that on a block. I like to put everything on blocks because it just makes it easier. And then there's some words with the smile, but all right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use liquid glue to put these on just because I think it'll hold a little better since my ink may be a little bit wet. Okay, there's that one. Sometimes tape runner won't stick to wet distress ink, so. Well, I appreciate you saying that, Sally, because I'm really slow. I've been really slow today. Like I said, I am one of those people. I get up in the morning and I go. I just start. I don't sit down very much. I'm usually walking the dog, doing the dishes, cleaning the house, whatever I need to do. And lately I'm on a kick of sorting through cabinets and drawers and getting rid of some of my hoarding tendencies. And so I've been spending the morning like cleaning out like at least one drawer, one closet or something. There. So that'll be like that. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to lower it a bit to give me a little more room at the top for that smile. Oh, it's just so cool. Okay, I got it. Now, I thought about using the Distress Oxide Black. It's not as good of a black to stamp with in terms of the sharpness. And so I'm not worried about this stamp, but if I'm going to do this, Your Smile Warms My Heart, I'm a little concerned about using that distress ink for those littler letters. So let me get out my big, bold black. My darkest black I have is Archival Black. It does stain your stamps. You can buy a like a ink cleaner or a stamp cleaner that works on more permanent ink, and it works great to get it off. But I don't really care if this stains my stamps, especially for the ones that I'm gonna keep. They're just tools. But you know, when I'm thinking of I might sell it, you know, some people get really nervous about having stained stamps. When you are going to stamp direct onto a page, put a cushion under it for sure. Ideally, like a Versamat cushion is really nice. I just use this cushion, and I'm just going to put it, I'm going to move that out of my way a little bit. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to push down And I'm going to make sure that all of the parts of the stamp get pressure. And I'm going to hold it there for a moment just so it soaks in just a little bit. It doesn't have to be very long. And archival ink is fast. Ta-da! Oh, that looks really nice. And see, a little bit dark, and I can usually get rid of a lot of the ink if I wipe it away right away, but it'll probably be a little bit stained until I use a permanent cleaner on it. That's okay. Okay, now we have this. Let's go ahead and put this in place. I can move this cushion out. I'm going to go ahead and put these circles on so that I can work around them. And so we want the center circle like centered, right? Because that's where our photo will be. So I'm approximately in the center. And not crooked would be good. All right. And I'm going to leave a little gap. There we go. I think that looks great. Now, did you notice I really didn't do anything other than stamp that giant one on before I started working on the rest of this, because if I screwed something up, it was most likely going to be this big, bold stamp. So I started with it, and that way if I screwed it up, I could always flip it over or, you know, move on, and I wouldn't have to remake all my parts if I didn't want to or whatever. It's just, you know, that's... brush the inks onto the irresistibles. Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. If you watched during the virtual crop, that's how I put the inks onto those. It's a great way. I was just thinking this was a something different. It's nice to, like, I don't know, show different things, different ideas, something else that, you know, some people are not into this at all or have never seen it. Sometimes it's really nice to just see a different... Okay, hold on a minute. I'm gonna take the ink off of that a sec. This, I would really like that to curve. And one of the benefits of the acrylic stamps is that you can mess with them like that. And that might even be a little too much. So I want it to be curved. Ta-da! Okay. I love that. I think this is going to be one of my favorite layouts for a while. Cool. Let's see. Now, one thing that they've done, they've stamped direct onto the paper the clouds, the sun, and things like that. So let's talk about these clouds for just a sec. I have done all kinds of things with clouds. I have a cloud stencil. I've also made clouds like this. And then, you know, just sponge them on. And so let me show you what that looks like. Grab another scrap over here. And I have my Capri ink. And you've probably done this yourself. Just made your own kind of homemade stencil. So if you do something like this, and just kind of go around the edges with a sponge and ink, you get a sky effect, which is kind of cool. And I kind of like that idea on this paper. And so I thought I could do that. I think that looks pretty neat. The other thing was this cloud right here. I love how it looks stamped and everything, but I was thinking it would be neat if they were dimensional. And I do have this cloud background die. It's for card front, but I went ahead and ran it through my machine, and I thought I'd just make a bunch of clouds. Now I could sponge them on through here. So like here's my play one again. Put that. And I could just ink through them and use it like a stencil, or I could just use these clouds exactly as is. I really doubt that the cloud, no, it would be too convenient if this cloud lined up with these shapes, but I could do a combination of stamping and popping these up. I like the idea. So let me just get these off of my mat. My mat's starting to get etched, so they don't just fall off like they usually do. Okay, so I'm just gonna mess around a little bit, making these clouds, you know, look a certain way, and then I can play around a little bit with those. So, and I'm not even sure I need more, but I'm gonna do that. Put that there, get that out of the way. I just feel like I have a lot of stuff on my table. All right, I want to stamp the sun. I probably should stamp the sun first, and they stamped it in yellow. I feel like I should go ahead and use the mustard seed. Wish me luck, because my mustard seed is so weird. But that's all right. I feel like I'm gonna have to run it under water to clean it off. Okay. That's the weirdest ink. That needs to dry. And I have like a little bit of, I don't know what that is. I think after my ink is dry, I'll be able to remove whatever that black speck is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my cloud sponging just a little bit on my page. Can you tell I must have big issues with like white space or something. I feel like I'm always filling white space. I'll put a little over here too. So one of the things I'm going to do today when Steve gets home, he told me he'd go with me, otherwise I would have done it already, is I am going to Art Coop. There is a art store here in town that has been in place ever since I took art classes at the U of I and in college at Parkland. And Art Coop is like my go-to store. It's kind of like a Dick Blick or something, you know, on that line, only it's a local place. Oh, I like the clouds like that. Okay, that was a good idea. And now I take my puffy clouds. I'm going to put a few of those on. I think I need to stamp a few. whenever I have a new stamp I haven't used, sometimes I'll just try it out, make sure it's fine, especially if I'm going to do it on a scrapbook page direct. I'm just following their lead on where I'm putting these, okay? They have 3 stamped clouds. And then, see, there, the sun, and then they did some hearts scattered all over the place, and that's basically the layout. But I'm gonna add a little, I'm getting out my dots here, and I'm gonna add some of these, at least a couple. Anyway, so I'm gonna go to Art Coop, and one of the things I'm gonna get today is some Gamsol. My Gamsol is really old. It doesn't really go bad, but it works really good with colored pencils. And so I just want to show you guys colored pencils with Gamsol coloring. And I thought I'm gonna get some. So if you're local and you need Gamsol, I probably will get it. It always comes in a bottle that's so enormous. Why? I think I'm gonna overlap this just a little. There. Okay. The reason I felt like I needed to add the clouds is because I really wasn't planning on using the bird. I might use that butterfly because I like the butterfly down here. Have I brushed inks? Oh yeah, I did that one. Gamsol, yes. It's Gamsol, Gamsol. I'm probably just pronouncing it weird. But it is like kind of a, it's like an odorless mineral spirit is what it is. It's mineral spirits that are safe to use inside without gassing yourself out. And it's an art product, not like go into Menards. I don't think it's mineral oil. I don't know. I'll have to look to be sure. I'm just sponging some blue into some of these clouds because it got hit with my sponging anyway, and they did it, so I'm doing it. There. Oh, that's so nice. Cool. Now they have some hearts over here, and in like a pink or a red color. I don't know if I love it. I can't decide if I love it. But I'm gonna stick with the Distress Oxide since that's what I've been working with. Again, these straight line images with Distress Oxides doesn't always work. Doesn't always look great because sometimes they smash out. Oh, see, that's not bad though. Not bad. Okay. All right. It looks like all I have left is little tiny hearts all over and the butterfly. And gosh, it's already after 3. So let's just put this together. I can do the butterfly and take a picture of it and kind of show you the final layout later. I am going to scatter some hearts though. I like that idea a lot. So, all right. Hit that with a hairdryer or something. Okay. My paper is 11 by 11. Is the turquoise color still gonna be the winner? I can't decide. I honestly don't know. Usually, if it's the perfect color, it just pops and I'm like, yes. but this one's sort of like, eh. Anyway, this page is 11 by 11, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this like 11 and a half. And then see how that looks. I don't really want a lot of border on it, so I may even cut it down more and give it less. Yeah, I think I might trim it down even a little more. I'm gonna trim off 1/4 inch off of each side. So it'll be 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. And that way, less of that color will show and more of the black. And look at how pretty. Isn't that neat? Ta-da! You think the green? I don't know. I tried it with avocado. That did not work. Let me grab limeade. Okay, let's see. Close to my heart, colors don't exactly match Ranger colors. They match their own papers. I don't know. I kind of like the turquoise still. The lagoon color. Could do both. No, it's just too much. That's what happens when I do my cross-stitch pictures, is I mess around with photo mats or mats forever, and then I'm constantly messing around with it. Okay, I think that is the winner. And I'm going to finish putting just tiny, this little tiny heart kind of scattered like they did in their picture. And then I will do a side-by-side photo for you of my finish. And then I am going to make the right side of this page, and I'm going to see how it looks. It may not work, but this is cool. I love this. And I love the stamp set on here. This page turned out really nice. So, okay. That's today. If there's something in the catalog you are dying to see early, let me know. I think Friday, I've been playing with those little snow mice because I think my personal thought is the snow mice, thin cuts, those might sell out. You know, the stamps will be available, but the thin cuts for them may not always be. So I've been messing with those a little bit. And then also that postage frame is another one that I think it's going to sell out, you guys. I just do. I predict it. So we'll see. But those are things that if you want those, I would get those early. And, you know, if they don't sell out, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect at forecasting, but those are my ones that I think are the most risky. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna work on this page a little bit more, and then I'll take a picture. I feel like my ink faded out around the edge. I need a little more. I'll make this all work. Thanks for watching. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.